Bombshell Gooners Andrea Berta has just confirmed that he is personally speaking with the representatives of an 18-year-old wonderkid who completely dominated the 5-time world champions, and time is running out. Meanwhile, Berta has ignored PSG's warning and confirmed that Arsenal will still pursue their top transfer target this summer. And the future of Riccardo Calafiori has just been revealed, and it's not at the Emirates Stadium. This is the kind of transfer window drama that makes football absolutely irresistible. If you want all the details on these explosive stories as the World Cup continues to reshape the transfer market, subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and let's get straight into it. Let's jump straight into the first story because this one has come completely out of nowhere, and according to the Times, Andrea Berta has already acted with the kind of speed and decisiveness that made Arsenal fans fall in love with him in the first place. After 18-year-old Ayoub Boadi starred for Morocco against Brazil at the weekend, Berta moved immediately. Direct talks have already been held with the teenager's representatives over how a deal would look. No official bid has gone into Lille just yet, but Arsenal are ready to spend, and crucially, Boadi himself is believed to be open to joining, after being told he would be part of the first-team picture with immediate effect. And if you watch that Morocco performance against Brazil, you already understand exactly why Berta picked up the phone so fast. Boadi did not just play well against the 5-time World Cup winners. He cruised through them, he bossed proceedings with a composure and intelligence that players twice his age would struggle to replicate. At 18 years old, on the biggest stage in world football against one of the most talented squads on the planet, the kid was completely unfazed. That is the rarest quality in football. You cannot coach that mentality. You either have it or you do not. Lille value Boadi at around £60 million right now. But here is the urgent reality, that valuation is already moving. Every single performance in America will push that number higher, and PSG are already circling with serious intent. This is not a situation where Arsenal can take their time, schedule a few more meetings, and revisit in August. The window to secure Boadi at a manageable price is right now in the opening weeks of this tournament, before the rest of the world catches up with what Berta already knows. The Saliba blueprint is the obvious reference point here. Arsenal spotted generational talent early, moved decisively, and trusted in long-term development. If Boadi is the next piece of that puzzle, £60 million could end up looking like the bargain of the decade. Berta has seen enough. Get this done before PSG do. Now let's talk about Bradley Barcola, because football transfers have just revealed a story that perfectly illustrates exactly what kind of sporting director Andrea Berta is. And honestly, it should give every Gooner enormous confidence in the man running Arsenal's recruitment. The story goes back to last summer. Berta made contact with PSG about a potential move for Barcola and explored what a deal might look like. PSG's response was emphatic and unambiguous. They told Berta in no uncertain terms that Barcola was a central part of their project and was simply not for sale. According to the report, Berta was given a direct hands-off warning. Most directors would have moved on immediately and crossed the name off the list. Berta did the opposite. He has maintained contact with Barcola's representative, Moussa Sissoko, throughout the entire past year, quietly, patiently, consistently, making it clear that Arsenal would be ready to move the moment PSG's stance changes. That is not desperation. That is elite-level recruitment strategy. Stay in the conversation, keep the relationship warm, be ready when the door opens even a crack. And the honest football assessment of Barcola makes that persistence completely understandable. Yes, his decision-making can be frustrating. Yes, he wastes chances that elite attackers should be converting. And PSG supporters have been vocal about that at times. Yes, his Champions League final cameo against Arsenal in Budapest was not the audition anyone wanted to see. But here is what matters. Barcola is 23 years old. Quick, technically gifted, fearless in 1-versus-1 situations, and capable of creating chances for himself and his teammates in equal measure. Those qualities cannot be coached into a player. They are innate. And under Arteta, a manager who has consistently developed young attacking players to elite levels, the ceiling for what Barcola could become is genuinely enormous. PSG continue to insist he is not available. But in football, not available and never available are very different things. Berta knows that. He has spent a year proving it. When that door opens, Arsenal will be first through it. Now let's round things off with a story that is genuinely uncomfortable to discuss, but absolutely cannot be ignored, because El Debate in Spain are reporting that Riccardo Calafiori knows Jose Mourinho personally and wants to wear the white shirt of Real Madrid next season. And Arsenal must respond with ice-cold clarity. The details of the report are significant. Calafiori is listed as one of Real Madrid's 3 defensive targets this summer, sitting second on their list behind Manchester City's Josko Gvardiol. The connection with Mourinho, who infamously allowed Roma to sell Calafiori to Basel for just £1.5 million back in 2022 before Arsenal paid £42 million 2 years later, clearly runs deep. And now Mourinho wants to work with him at the Bernabeu. The player, according to the report, wants the same thing. Now, the first thing that must be said is this. If Calafiori genuinely wants to leave Arsenal, the club should let him go. A player who has decided his future lies elsewhere is never the same player on the pitch, and Arteta cannot afford any mental reservations at the top of his squad heading into a title defence and another Champions League campaign. When a player's head has turned, keeping him is rarely the right call, but the price being discussed is where this story becomes genuinely infuriating. El Debate have reported potential figures of £43 to £51 million. That is an absolute joke, and Berta must laugh it straight out of any negotiation. Real Madrid are one of the wealthiest clubs on the planet, and they want a player who has established himself as one of the most unique defensive profiles in European football. A left-footed defender with the technical quality, vision and athleticism to function as an attacking outlet high up the pitch. 24 years old, a Premier League champion. The minimum Arsenal should accept for Calafiori is £65 million, and that figure should only go higher if Real Madrid push. Yes, his injury record has been a frustration. Yes, there are question marks. But scarcity has value in football, and players with Calafiori's specific profile simply do not exist anywhere else on the market. Real Madrid want him enough to make him their second-choice defensive target. Make them pay what he is actually worth, not a penny less than £65 million. Berta, hold firm. Now I want to hear from you. Are you excited about Boadi after that Brazil performance? Or is £60 million too much for a teenager? Do you respect Berta's patience on Barcola, or should he move on to other targets? And how do you feel about Calafiori apparently wanting Real Madrid? And what is the right price to let him go? Drop everything in the comments right now. I read every single one and your debates are always absolutely electric. Let's build this summer together. And if you want every Arsenal update as this window gets bigger and more dramatic by the day, hit that subscribe button immediately. Smash it right now and turn on notifications. The World Cup is just getting started, and so are Arsenal. Until next time, Gooners, come on you Gunners.